Carbs are good for you, here's why. If you're interested in nutrition, weight loss, or healthy eating, you've probably seen contradictory information about carbohydrates at some point in the past few years. In popular diets such as the keto diet and the Atkins diet, carbs are presented as the one food group you shouldn't eat. However, for years, the United States Department of Agriculture put bread, cereal, rice, and pasta foods high in carbs at the base of its food guide pyramid. EatingWellNutrition editor Brierley Wright says the truth is slightly more complicated. If eaten in unnecessarily large quantities, they could contribute to weight gain, but, then again, so could too much of any food, she writes. In fact, carbohydrates are a healthy addition to your diet. Let's look at 15 reasons carbs are good for you. They are the main fuel source for the body and brain. According to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, carbohydrates are the main fuel for the brain and muscles. Those sugar molecules are the primary energy source needed for the human body, adds the health website Very Well Fit. The body requires lots of carbs to function at optimum levels. According to registered dietitian Susan Bowerman, quoted by NBC News, your brain and red blood cells rely on carbohydrate almost exclusively for fuel. Although carbs have been vilified as a driver of weight gain, and low-carb diets such as the keto diet have been gaining popularity as weight loss methods, carbohydrates are considered an essential macronutrient along with proteins and fats. Simply put, the body needs all three. WebMD suggests eating carb-smart, getting carbs from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains rather than refined sugars and other processed foods. Fiber has many health benefits. There are three main types of carbohydrates: sugar, starches, and fiber. According to the Mayo Clinic, fiber found in fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and whole grains is an essential part of a healthy diet. Although dietary fiber is probably best known for its ability to prevent or relieve constipation, foods containing fiber can provide other health benefits as well, such as helping to maintain a healthy weight and lowering your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and some types of cancer. Fiber shows up in a wide range of foods, from pears and strawberries to sweet potatoes, pictured, to whole grains to popcorn and dark chocolate. Smartly chosen carbohydrates lower your risk of getting several diseases. A diet that is rich in the right kind of carbohydrates can lower your risk of a range of chronic diseases. According to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, studies show that those who eat the most carbohydrates, especially those found in whole, natural foods like beans, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, have a lower risk for heart disease and type 2 diabetes. What's more, complex carbohydrates like oatmeal are rich in fiber and, when consumed regularly, indicated to reduce the risk of hypertension, Very Well Fit notes. Additional health benefits include reduced incidence of obesity and an optimal digestive system. Foods with the right kinds of carbs provide a wide range of nutrients. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, it's more important to eat carbohydrates from healthy foods than to follow a strict diet limiting or counting the number of grams of carbohydrates consumed. What the HSPH calls healthy sources of carbohydrates, unprocessed or minimally processed whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and beans, have a wide range of other health benefits. For example, whole grains are high in vitamins, minerals, protein, and antioxidants, and fresh fruits provide potassium and vitamin C. Choosing carbs wisely can contribute to weight control. As the Mayo Clinic observes, carbs often get a bad rap as a driver of weight gain. However, evidence shows that a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can help with weight control. Specifically, foods that are high in fiber help with weight control by helping you feel full on fewer calories. Contrary to what low-carb diets claim, very few studies show that a diet rich in healthy carbohydrates leads to weight gain or obesity. A National Institutes of Health study on the diets of 19 obese people, cited by WebMD, found that a reduced fat diet was better than a reduced carb diet at increasing fat burning, which led to body fat loss. Eat this, not that. Has a list of healthy foods rich in complex carbs that can promote weight loss and build muscle. They are part of a balanced diet. Carbohydrates are part of a balanced diet, along with protein, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. As Healthline explains, around half your food should come from fruits and vegetables, around 1/4 from protein, and 1/4 whole grains and starches. Whole grain products made with the entire grain, including the hull, provide additional vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and can also add more texture and flavor to a dish. Healthline recommends switching from white bread, non-whole grain pasta, and white rice to whole grain options like whole oat cereal, whole wheat baked goods, whole rye, used in dark breads, and whole barley. Not all whole grains are suitable for people with gluten intolerance, however. They can help boost your mood. According to EatingWell, research suggests that eating carbs can help boost your mood. Citing a study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine, people who followed a very low carbohydrate diet for a year, which allowed only 20 to 40 grams of carbs daily, about the amount in just half a cup of rice plus one piece of bread, experienced more depression, anxiety, and anger than those assigned to a low-fat, high-carb diet that focused on low-fat dairy, whole grains, fruit, and beans. WebMD suggests that carbs, along with folic acid and the amino acid tryptophan, can raise levels of the mood-improving serotonin in the brain. They can be good for your heart. Research suggests that making smart carb choices, more specifically increasing your soluble fiber intake by 5 to 10 grams each day, could result in a 5% drop in bad LDL cholesterol. Correspondingly, people with diets high in whole grains also tend to have higher good HDL cholesterol. According to cardiologist Tamar Polonsky of UChicago Medicine, a diet high in complex carbohydrates, those in whole grains, beans, and vegetables, can decrease inflammation and help us decrease the risk of plaque buildup in our arteries. In the same way, a diet lower in simple carbs, those found in candy, baked goods, and juice, can reduce a person's risk of obesity and high blood pressure. They may contribute to keeping your memory sharp. A Tufts University study, cited by WebMD, indicates that diets very low in carbs may impair memory. 1 week after starting a diet that severely restricted carbohydrates, participants performed significantly worse on memory tests than participants who followed a low-calorie, high-carbohydrate diet. Reaction times for those on the low-carb diet were slower, and their visual spatial memories were not as good as the low-calorie dieters. The low-carb dieters' memory test performances improved in the following weeks after they began eating some carbohydrates. The body uses carbohydrates to synthesize glucose, which is brain fuel. It stands to reason that eliminating carbohydrates from the diet might reduce the brain's source of energy and affect brain function, WebMD sums up. Smart carb intake may reduce your risk of premature death. According to WebMD, a 2018 study indicated that people following low-carb diets had a 32% higher chance of dying from any cause during a follow-up of over 6 years than people who were not restricting their carb intake. In that study, people on low-carb diets had a 51% higher risk of death from heart disease, a 50% higher risk of dying from stroke, and a 35% higher risk of dying from cancer, although the study didn't clearly distinguish what constituted a low-carb diet. Another study, conducted by Harvard University, tracked the diets of 15,000 American adults over a 25-year period starting in the late 1980s. It found that people who ate a moderate amount of carbs, 50 to 55% of total calories, were less likely to die than both the low-carb eaters and the high-carb eaters. They provide energy. Carbs are not only brain fuel, they're also body fuel. Without adequate carbohydrate consumption, our body may experience feeling tired, headache, lethargic, and unable to push through a workout, Very Wellfit explains. Athletic performance can be adversely affected without an adequate amount of carbohydrates. Our body requires all fuel sources, including carbohydrates, to perform at its best in and out of the gym. Very Wellfit indicates that smart carbohydrate consumption, including whole grains and leafy greens, can reduce body fat, gain muscle, and improve athletic performance. Insufficient carbs can lead to weakness, fatigue, and vitamin deficiency. Carbs are the master fuel for athletes. If you're an athlete, carbs come in handy at every stage of preparation or competition. The United States Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, nutrition portal has a detailed carbohydrate consumption plan for athletes training for or participating in day-long or multi-day events. Carbohydrate intake before and after exercise can help to restore suboptimal glycogen stores, which is critical for prolonged periods of exercise. USADA recommends eating a high-carbohydrate, non-greasy, and easily digestible meal 3 to 4 hours before an event or training session. Adding small amounts of protein can aid in regulating energy levels by slowing down carbohydrate absorption, delivering the carbohydrates to the working muscles at a more consistent rate over time. If there's no time for a meal, 1 hour or less before an event, USADA suggests munching on dried fruit, crackers, applesauce, a fig bar, or a piece of toast. During high-intensity activities, sports drinks, not to be confused with caffeinated energy drinks, and gels containing multiple forms of sugar can increase absorption and delivery of carbohydrates. Afterward, try trail mix, chocolate milk, a banana or pita with hummus. Choosing carbs wisely can help with blood sugar control. As NBC News explains, when you choose products that contain complex carbs rather than simple carbs, a whole grain snack or a piece of fruit rather than a sugary donut, you get longer lasting energy and more stable blood sugar. Carbohydrates that are more complex take time to digest and allow a slow release of sugar into the body. This slow release does increase blood sugar levels over time, but not all at once, preventing some unwanted blood sugar level spikes and symptoms that come along with those spikes, dietitian Megan Daw explained to NBC. As the Harvard School of Public Health explains, foods with a high glycemic index, like white bread, are quickly digested and cause spikes in blood sugar, while foods with a low glycemic index are digested more slowly, prompting a more gradual rise in blood sugar. Research indicates that foods with a low glycemic index may help control type 2 diabetes and improve weight loss. They're delicious. According to Eating Well, there's a lot to be said for the eat what you enjoy diet. Imagine a diet where you can eat anything you want. The catch? You only eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. It's intuitive eating, a way of eating that helps people establish a healthy relationship with food and their bodies, writes dietitian nutritionist Carrie Ann Jennings. Rather than focusing on some sort of external sense of what you should and shouldn't eat, such as in a diet, intuitive eating makes you the expert on how much, when, and what you eat. This shift turns eating from a struggle to an enjoyable way to nourish your body. Plenty of foods that are high in carbs, think fresh apples, bananas, mangoes, dried fruits, beans, and whole grain rice and oats, are tasty on their own or as part of delicious recipes. If you need some kitchen inspiration, here's Country Living's list of unmissable fresh fruit recipes, the Food Network's collection of healthy whole grain recipes, and Bon Appetit's 86 bean recipes to keep in your back pocket. Well-chosen carbs can help you build muscle. Speaking of beans, eat this, not that. Notes that the combination of protein and fiber present in beans makes them an advanced fat-burning, muscle-building machine. Dietitian Leah Kaufman explains that beans are a great source of protein that includes fiber and will ensure your blood sugar doesn't spike and will give you energy to build the muscle you want. Chocolate milk also contains a muscle-building mix of complex carbs and protein. For those who take part in a daily, light-intensity workout, the Mayo Clinic recommends about 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrates for every kilogram of body weight. For someone who weighs 68 kilograms, 150 pounds, that's between 200 and 340 grams a day.